I'm here in Dallas for REITWorld 2011, NAREIT's annual convention for all things REIT. Joining me is Tim Riddiough, Professor of Real Estate and Urban Land Economics with the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Tim, thanks for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome. It's a pleasure to be here, Matt.
In the latest issue of REIT magazine, you said that you expect more of the same in terms of your 2012 economic outlook, with policymakers and regulators, muddling through the current situation. Outside of a complete change in partisanship in Washington, what do you think it would take to get the economy back on track?
You will not see the benefits of good decision-making, good political decision-making immediately. Won't show up in the economy, won't show up in the unemployment rate necessarily. But for example, things like education. Our educational system is broken, and that's been one of the long-term comparative advantages that the United States has had in the world. That advantage is eroding, and reinvesting in our educational system and trying to fix things, focusing perhaps on the upper end of the distribution more, as well as the lower end of the distribution in terms of kids, giving them a good education is really, really important. And again, the dividends, we won't see the dividends from that investment immediately, but that's the kind of thing that we need to consider.
Now, looking at the commercial real estate space more specifically, from a fundamental standpoint, things seem to be a little bit better perhaps than the economy as a whole. Outside of jobs, what are some of the other issues or factors that need to be in play to see a full recovery?
The commercial real estate market's been characterized as a trifurcation. And the upper end of the market, the higher quality properties located in coastal cities primarily, have been doing very, very well. There's been global fundamental demand for those assets, perhaps largely from a safe haven perspective, thinking that these are in fortress cities, supply constrained markets. And this is a good, these assets are always going to throw off good cash flow. What is still struggling are the middle and the lower ends of the market. We have a large number of commercial banks in the United States that are struggling with poor commercial mortgage loan performance. And we haven't seen the recovery in that lower and middle tier market.
And continuing that a little bit, outside of some of the major themes and issues that people are looking at and talking about, when it comes to commercial real estate or listed REITs more specifically, are there any issues that you feel are kind of being underlooked or not paid enough attention to?
We've got a lot of commercial real estate loans on the portfolio on the balance sheets of small, medium-sized banks in this country. We've got a lot of commercial real estate loans that have been securitized. And there's a looming maturity crisis, term crisis with this. It's been discussed, but it hasn't really been rediscussed recently, and time is closer. It's starting in around 2013, which is when if you go back 10 years, 2003 to 2007 was the boom with commercial real estate lending. And we're going to see a lot of those loans coming due, and our strategy has been muddling through and hope, and we're a year or two closer than we were the last time we really started worrying about this, and the economy is still sort of sputtering along. So that's going to be I think that's going to be a big issue as we get into 2012 if the economy doesn't improve significantly.
Great. Tim, thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome, Matt.
For more from REITWorld 2011, be sure to visit REIT.com.